Man, you're easier to work with than DJ's donkeys. Well, what's up, guys? It's Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and it is a chilly, bright and early morning here in southern Oklahoma. And today, well, today is, it's the day. I don't get into politics and controversial topics on my channel very often, but this is probably the most controversial thing you see on my channel, at least with my viewers and their interpretation of what's controversial and what we do and don't do. So, got the trailer backed up to the loading chute for our good buddy Ralph. So today is Ralph's last day with us, and a lot of folks just struggle to understand. I get a lot of comments, a lot of emails and questions of how we can name an animal, raise it, care for it, love on it, scratch his head, and then in turn load him in a trailer, take him to the processor, and have him for dinner. And honestly, I'm not trying to not be sensitive to people's feelings, but Ralph's not a pet, and that's where a lot of people get confused. We raise a steer every 18 months or so for the freezer, and I think people get confused on what's a pet and what's a livestock. And just because we name him and we give him a good life doesn't mean we don't consider him livestock and future food to feed our family. And I don't, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but just I get tons of comments from people, and I just want to be transparent. And I don't completely understand how it's so hard for people. I know a lot of people say it's one thing to go out and grab one out of the pasture that you've never gotten close to, but guys, this is just, I want my family to know that's where our meat comes from. And do we like Ralph? Yes. He's a good guy. I like Ralph. He gets a little rough with DJ sometimes, but it's just because he's being pushy and knows he can get his way with her. But I get comments sometimes, and there was one on Facebook the other day that was, I just couldn't. I'll let everybody else respond, but basically it said something along the lines of, I need to go vegetarian because the Bible says there's no death in heaven, and if there's no death in heaven, then no one's going to eat meat. So then if we sacrifice Ralph, she said sacrifice Ralph, she hopes that every time we eat his meat, eat part of Ralph's beef, that we look at, all we can see is the look in his eyes. And someone else responded, yeah, they'll see the rib eyes. Huh, Ralph? But here's the thing, guys. The Bible clearly says that the Lord gave us dominion over the animals and to use them for food. When we get to heaven, we won't need food. Heaven's a perfect place. We're not going to need meat to nourish our bodies because that's what God's for. That's God's job. God will nourish all of our needs. We won't need to feed our bodies because a spirit, a soul, I don't feel like needs food for nourishment. Oh, Ralph. All right, let's start the process. You ready to get in the trailer, go for a ride, buddy? I know everyone's going to be heartbroken. All right. Get this gate open. Set up a couple temporary panels, a couple gates, and then the chute's wide open there. We'll run him in here and go straight down. We practiced this last night, and that's why I have a pipe in here. I actually got Ralph in the chute last night and did a practice trial run just to make sure he was going to cooperate. And Ralph's a little hard-headed, but he made it work. Come on. Let's go. Come on, Ralph. Let's go. Come on. Take your step. Come on. Come on, Ralph. Go that way. Come on. There you go. Good boy. Good boy, Ralph. Step up. Come on, Ralph. Come on. Here. Get your head on the other side of that. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Ralph. Let's go. One big step for bovine kind. Come on. Up you go. Big step. Guys, that's not a hot shot. This is just a shepherd's crook that I use for the goats. Good boy, Ralph. Man, you're easier to work with than DJ's donkeys. Did you know that? Can we get one more step, buddy? Come on, Ralph. Come on. One more step forward. There you go. Alrighty. Good boy, Ralph. Well, that went about as smooth as you could ever ask for. You know, another thing that kind of, I'm not going to say it bothers me by any means. I'm not upset about it. And I just want to try to show what we do in as positive of a way as we can. And I try not to bash people or even commenters and things. It just is what it is. Everybody lives a different lifestyle and everybody has different goals and dreams and ambitions and different thoughts on life. But, another super popular comment I get when we talk about this type of stuff is people say things like, we know that you're raising Ralph to butcher, but just don't tell us, don't show us. And that mindset, that I can't even comprehend that. Like, how is that a good way to live in general, period? With Ralph or any beef or whatever it is, we know things are going on in the world, but don't tell us about it. I'm like, wait a minute. Why would we just stick our head in the sand like, those old videos of an ostrich just stuck their head in the sand and pretend things don't exist? I feel like that's how our country has ended up in the position it's in. I know comparing that to taking a steer to the processor is kind of out there, but people comment and say, we know Ralph's going to go to the butcher, just don't tell us about it. I'm like, listen, Ralph's not a pet. Ralph is beef. And Ralph is going to the freezer. And if you can't handle that, man, I don't know. It's hard for me to comprehend. Like I said, not bashing anyone, not trying to be rude or mean, but I want to know where my food comes from. I want to know the safety. I want to protect my family as best I can in as many ways as possible. I believe that's my job as a man, is to raise my family and protect my kids, protect my wife, and help them even when it comes to their food. Like, I know what Ralph has done. I know what Ralph has been fed. I know the life Ralph has lived. And I honor that and I respect that. And I know that today is a bad day for Ralph, but it's a great day for my family. And I won't apologize for that. Hey girls, anyone else want to go for a ride? right, turn. We're on concrete now, be careful. So normally the way this would work, you unload your steer, you bring them in, and this is a scale. He's standing on the scale right now, but I'm the only one here, and the scales are locked, so they'll have to run him through here and weigh him later. But I'm gonna let Ralph into one of these holding pens, and they'll be here in a little while. Come on out, Ralph. Come on, push that gate open. Now make a left turn. Come on, Ralph. There you go. All right, buddy. This is where we part ways, man. Listen. We appreciate you. We love you. We appreciate you. We love everything you've done for us, and you will do for us. Okay, Ralph? Hey. No? All right. Wish you the best. Well, I guess that's just how things work in a small town. Life in a small town community is different than a big city. I can promise you that. Because I'm at a local processing facility. And when I called and scheduled this, I said, what time do I need to have him there? She said, probably 8:30 Monday morning. I said, well, I'm kind of busy early in the morning on Monday. She said, bring him on Sunday evening. I said, I don't want to do that. So it's 7:49 on Monday morning, and I just brought Ralph up here and unloaded him by myself. No one here, and you can get away with that kind of stuff in a small town community. These guys know me. I've had animals here for years, and she said, just drop him off, and we'll be there bright and early. And it looks like he's the only one on the kill floor today, because usually there's 3 or 4 already lined up, and there may be more show up in a little while, but maybe not. Maybe it's just Ralph today. Beef. What's for lunch? Okay, just for clarity's sake, I figure most people know this, but that was not Ralph on the griddle. It was beef that we raised on our farm, and it's delicious. I pretty much ran out of most of the good steaks, so that was a chuck steak. Not a high dollar cut of meat, but still homegrown, and it tastes great. As far as cattle go and steers, I just don't see a steer as a pet. I know a lot of people do, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with folks that want to have, 1,000-pound steer as a pet. But for me, that's a large animal that could easily step on one of my kids' feet and break every bone in their foot. It's just not what I classify as a pet. Nothing wrong with it, but that's just not for us. And we took good care of Ralph while he was here, just like we took good care of Big Mac when he was here, and Whopper. And even if you want to go back, there was a heifer named Willie, and we had a heifer that I called Crazy Eyes. That crazy heifer was never great while she was here. But that's just part of the process, part of what we do. We have animals that are for YouTube entertainment and for my wife's, channel, is for her fun. She enjoys her mini donkeys as a hobby. But beef is not a hobby for us. It's food. But anyways, got a lot of cleanup to do around here. It's a beautiful day. We're supposed to get some rain. I'm out in the pasture where Ralph and the donkeys were at that I planted the other day, and this is not a brush pile by any means. I'm throwing some sticks on it, but it's all leaves and hay and just trash that I piled up with the tractor. And I'm doing a little more burning. There's some leaves burning over here, some old hay and things. So trying to clean up the pastures. I may go up there and clean out where Ralph was at. Had RJ and Jesse pinned up there for a while. Clean up my mess, put those panels away, and maybe try to clean some of the hay up off the ground in there. But other than that, it's just a nice chill day of working on the farm, I guess. Get goats, they said. It'll be fun. There's always one in the bunch that likes to get stuck in the fence. This year, it's this one. Here, I don't know if I can do this one-handed, but... Oh, here. Turn your head. There you go. You're free. Hi, buddy. How's Bear today? Well, most all of my fires have burned out. This little pile here will probably smolder for several days. But got a lot of leaves burned, a lot of just random piles of hay burned and things. The fence rows, all, the leaves that blew up against those, got those all burned out. So hopefully if we get some rain, that'll help kind of get the grass stimulated and growing. And yeah, got a lot done today. Weston got the patio all pressure washed and cleaned up for us. That's done. Emily's birthday's coming up pretty soon. We're having a little party. We'll get together with a bunch of friends and family at our house, and that's why we wanted the patio all cleaned up, and that's ready to go. But anyways, yeah, bad day for Ralph, but he lived a good life, and we'll cherish that. And I don't want to come across as, you know, arrogant about it. And I know I did the little video cooking the steaks and stuff, but it's just the brutal, honest truth. When we raise a beef, it's for the freezer, and they're not necessarily pets, even though we do care for them while they're here and do our best to take care of them and provide for their needs. But we know that their ultimate goal is to provide for us. So anyways, I guess I'm gonna go up to the house and start getting things ready for supper. Looks like DJ and the kids just pulled in. I heard the car pull up behind me. So anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a great day. And as always, we'll see you on the next video.